Hello, I'm Joe Billups. Welcome to the podcast Music Heals One Note at a Time. We have Kathy Marie Howell with us today, and we are going to talk about how music shapes our lives. And if you're ready, Kathy, I'm ready.
Yes, I am so happy and grateful to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Welcome. So, my first question is, how has music impacted your life and in what way?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I was thinking about that question before the call because I know with your work that, being so musically music being such a huge part of your life in such a different way than music was a part of my life. So, knowing that you come from a family of musicians um and then have married into the family of musicians, and I have always wanted to be a musician and have never ever been able to pick that up. So going back to like how music has shaped my life, um I remember being in the car on, and I don't know if they were actual road trips or, but that's what it seems like. And my dad was a big Johnny Cash fan. So this is back in the 60s and 70s, right? Because this is,
Yeah.
the earliest. And so, and the one song, like the song from Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire, like that one is embedded in my brain. And then thinking about like so many of those older country music songs were, I always tuned into the words that they were saying, even though the music, the sound was something that was really cool, but it was the words that got me. It was like, what are they really saying? What are they saying? And so as a child, that early on, listening to some of those really mature country songs. I mean, I know Johnny Cash was, I mean, I guess he was known to be country, but it was kind of, I guess, rockabilly. Is that right?
Yes, I'd agree.
Kind of thing. But my dad was like Merle Haggard, but Dolly Parton, like, oh my gosh, her coat of many colors, like, will still bring me to tears.
Those are so heartfelt. Those are heartfelt songs.
Yes. And going back to having the record player. And so one of my first albums was Olivia Newton-John. Well, I take it back. So some of those were even like the Disney out. We had those, and we would, which is not music, but we would listen to them. Even though the Jack and the Beanstalk, the harp always got me on that one, was the lady, the harp. But Olivia Newton-John, her one of her first albums, and Donny Osmond. It's just like
Me too.
I just listen to them on repeat and just, but not like today where it's like technology has really taken music to the next level. But really how it's made an impact in my life is to really, anytime that I've felt like I've wanted something to move me, I always turn to music. Some people turn to athletics. I know like that's and I also love to dance, of course. I think the music naturally leads to dancing, but it's that like thinking about that energy and motion being emotion. And so using music as a tool, y- y- kind of not kind of unconsciously, but also just being exposed to it at a young age and having such a desire, and yet knowing that I didn't have the support because my family not being musically inclined, and they did put me in music lessons, but it didn't really work out at the time, age, whatever, and the discipline. And so, but now I can play, I can shake the jamboree, or I can, play the lap harp, or some of those other things, but not to the level yet that maybe still be available for me. So that's how it's really impacted me, is just to be a part of my, um, I want to say everyday life. Maybe not every day, but definitely I can hear something in my head, even if I don't hear it live, and it really is a way that that really brings me into my emotions.
I
So thank
love that. When you think about, you get in the car and you turn the radio on, and we did it as kids, and I'm not even sure we knew what we were doing. We're just turning the radio on. And now you think about, you hear a song and you can remember the first time you heard it or the last time you heard it or something. And definitely there's a healing aspect going on without even being consciously aware of it. Do you
Oh
think?
yeah. Teleporting. That's that. I mean, absolutely being teleported back to the swim pool, all the songs that they played that one summer of like,
Do you
yeah.
have a current favorite song?
Ooh, oh, they changed so much. I really gosh, I don't that I can think of, because it's still, if you ask me about so at one point I had to, I didn't have to. I presented my life story to a group of women at church, and they asked me to choose a song to represent myself,
Oh, I
and I was
love
just like,
that.
oh my gosh, that was probably one of the hardest tasks I've ever had to
What
do.
did you choose?
Um, My Wish from Rascal Flatts.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that.
That was really, 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 really hard to do, but that song will still bring me to tears even
Mm,
thinking about
yeah.
it, because it's like they spoke my heart. And so yeah, so I think that's very powerful.
And would you recommend music to other people for healing?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, that would be, yeah, a very, and with the caveat of even, being mindful of what you're listening to, because it can take us to the lowest lows or
That's so true.
the highest
Yes.
highs.
Right. Right.
So, because yeah, I mean, definitely when I got divorced, and I had shared a little bit of that story with you before, it was like I started listening to some music, and it was like and that was actually Randy Travis, was a lot of that, and Garth Brooks. It's like those going back, and I love all of it. Like I used to sing Rapper's Delight to my children when they were little. But going back to not being happy in my marriage, and really listening to music, and like I said, I've always done this repeat, really latch on to something and then do the repeat. So it was like ingraining the message. But when I was unhappy in my marriage, it was like, oh, what is it that's conveying the message for me? And that's where it was like I really picked up on Garth Brooks and Randy Travis, and listened to them, and then it was like, okay, well now I need to take the next step, and
Yeah.
life changes. So yeah, lots of impact. Music has had a huge impact on my life.
Do you see that spilling over to your children?
Yes, I do. And yeah, it's really fun because my children are grown now, and we love to play games, and it's always like who gets to DJ the games. And then it's really fun because we end up with either a sing along, and unfortunately none of my children play. Actually, I take it back. My oldest son plays a little tiny bit of guitar, but he's not disciplined with it either. So he actually can play, but he doesn't. But they all love music. But yes, at the games, so then it's like we all love to sing. So we'll be having a sing along, or there'll be complaints to the DJ of like, are you trying to depress us or put us to sleep?
That's funny. There's nothing better than families singing together. There is
I,
something about the family music that there's nothing like it.
I agree. I do. I love it
It's
so
so
much.
fun. It's
It
so fun.
is fun. And especially when when you can be yourself and, because not any of us being trained singers, once again, I'll take it back. My oldest son, he did do choir, and so he's got a lot more training, but he's also um, not one to like try to tell us how to do it.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's interesting.
Well, that's amazing. That is wonderful. I think you've answered all my questions. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Oh gosh. Well, I want to add that I'm very inspired by you, and everything that you and your family have done has just,
Oh, thank
yeah, like
you.
that's going to bring me to tears because seeing you and your evolution these few years that I've known you have been just, it's been incredible. And I love hearing your story and your family story and just the magic that you're creating and and this message of
Giving me
music.
chills.
Ah, it's
Well,
so
for everyone who doesn't know, Kathy is my life coach, and she has helped me to get to this point to put this message out there. So, ditto and all back to you. Thank you so much for helping me share this message and get to this place where I can share this message that music heals. So, thank you.
yes, yeah, music heals one note at a time. I love that message, and I truly believe that it's true, and I'm so grateful to be part of it and to see where you're going with it because, yeah, every story is unique, right? Like, every single story is unique, and we all have a story to share, and I would absolutely say that music, you really think about, somebody who can't hear music we appreciate our senses so much. We take them for granted often. And yet it's like what a gift music is. Even, when you think about even like nature, how it brings the music to us, from the rain hitting a tin roof or, just the plop, just different things, but how we can really tune in and be one with the universe and really bring it all together is very powerful, and yeah,
Well,
so I
I love that. You step outside and just listen, and you can hear music from the car going down the road to somebody dumping a load of rock to the birds singing to the chickens, just you name it. It's going on out there if you listen.
yeah, yes, and then going back to, being single focused and bringing your attention in, like what I had said when I wanted to change, because all of this noise going on, so we can see it as music or we can see it as noise, but
Exactly.
saying single focus and saying, "Where do I see myself? Where do I see music playing that role in my life? And how is it that we can really embrace the healing part of it for our future?" And yeah, you being such a beautiful part of that. So thank you. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for being my first interview for Music Heals One Note at a Time.
I
And
l-
I appreciate you so much.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.